Okay, the first thing we're going to want to do is take our plastic wrap and we're going to stretch it out. Make sure it's long enough for our first sample. This one is our bullseye. And then we'll just cut it off. Now, depending on what colors you want your fabric to be, I'm going to start off with some yellow. And we're just going to squeeze that on the bottom section here. You want to saturate it, but don't over-saturate it. So I'm just going to flip that over. Get a little bit on the other side. And then we'll move on to our next color. Do a little bit of red here. And we'll flip it over. Move on to our next color. Do a little bit of the blue here. And then we'll flip it again. I might do a little bit of yellow here. I'm going to actually mix in my blue and get a little bit more of like a greenish hue to it. The same on this side. And then we'll just decide on our last color. I think I'm going to end it off with a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red. We'll do another multicolor on the end here. And there we go. Now we're just going to wrap this up to seal in the color. And we'll start on the next one. So I've done the same. I've now laid out my plastic wrap, laid out my sample, and we're just going to apply color where we want it. This one I think I'm just going to do a blue and red combination. So we'll just add some blue. Each one. And we'll come back and we'll add some red in between. This will be my patriotic sample here. Add some on the end. There we go. And then let's just flip this all over and we'll get the other side. Add our red. And a little bit more red. A little bit of red on the end. And then we will add some blue. And a little bit more blue. And a little bit more blue. Oh, Don't splatter like I did like right there. That's tie-dye though, so it'll still look good. Can't really go wrong with tie-dye. And then we'll just wrap up our sample. And set it aside. Move on to the next one. Okay, next we're going to take our Sunburst one and we'll just get our plastic wrap. All ready. And for this one, I think I'm going to lay out two just because of the odd nature of this, the shape of this one. So we'll just put two side by side. And then we'll lay our Sunburst on top. Now we're just going to take our colors that we want to use. I'm going to use blue and yellow for this one. And we'll first apply our yellow to the burst, and then I'm going to apply blue around it. And try and be careful not to get yellow onto the main section too bad. Kind of inevitable that you're going to get a little bit over there, but try and keep as much as you can onto your sunburst. And then once you finish doing all of your bursts, you'll take your other color apply that to the rest of the diaper flat. Now this is a little bit thinner here, so you're not going to need as much dye in between in order to cover it. It's going to spread pretty quickly. So you'll just keep going around and fill in all the empty space. Okay, so here I've covered up the entire Sunburst one, and I'm just going to wrap this one up. Now try and make sure that the blue ones are not wrapped up over the yellow ones too much. Just seal that all together. Keep that moisture in. And we'll set this one aside. Now the last one we have here to do is our swirl, and you're just going to apply color in between each of the rubber bands, and it's up to you how many different colors you want to use. I'm just going to use each of them, and we'll see how that works out. So I'm just going to apply the yellow on this section. Apply some red. Apply some blue. We'll go back with a little bit more blue over here. Go with a bit of yellow. A little bit of red. And I'm going to do just one extra red one. I'm going to just flip this over and get the other side. Try and remember which ones you did on each section. You can kind of see on the sides. Red. Red here. Your yellow. Yellow. And let's see. I guess that's all we have on yellow, and then we have 2 blues. And we just barely made it with our blue dye before we ran out. So there we go. And add a little bit more on that one. We'll just wrap this little guy up. Now that we have that all done and everything's all wrapped up, we're going to let each of these set for about 6 to 8 hours or longer, depending on how intense you want your coloring, and then we'll continue on. Okay, it's been 24 hours and I've let the dye soak in overnight, and now we're going to open these up and see what they look like. The girls are actually really excited, so they're all waiting here so we can see what they look like. So let's open them up. All you're just going to do is make sure you're wearing your gloves because they still have dye on them. I am going to take off the little plastic wrap, take my scissors, and we're just going to cut off the little rubber bands. It's a little bit easier than undoing them the regular way, although you could do that too if you wanted to. But I just rather cut them off and buy new rubber bands next time I do it. So just keep cutting away and cutting away. And cutting away. And there we go. And then you can open it up and see what you have. Ooh, and that one looks so pretty. So let's continue on doing that with all the rest of them. I'm just going to lay this one aside on the grass. Okay, so I've opened them all up and I've laid them out on the grass. This one is the Sunburst with several different center points, our spiral, and then a couple other mixed ones in there. Here's our folded one, another one mixed in, and then our bullseye. The other ones I just ended up folding every which way, and then I threw a onesie in there just for fun. So the next thing you're going to want to do is just take your hose, and I'm just going to spray them each down just to get off some of the dye. The instructions do say just to throw them in your washing machine, but just for safe measure I like to spray them down. And it doesn't matter if they get a little bit dirty, you're just going to throw them in the washing machine anyway. So I'm going to finish spraying these down, and then we'll head them down to the laundry room. Okay, I've collected all of the flat diapers and the onesie inside this bucket outside, and now I'm just going to dump this into my washing machine, and we'll get that started. So what you're going to want to do is put just a small scoop of detergent in with your load. Usually for a regular diaper load, I'll do up to the 2, so for this one I'm just going to do up to the 1, so about half the amount of detergent that I normally would use. Then you're going to want to set your water level to the highest level. Just make sure you get a lot of water up in there to get all that, to get all the dye out. We're going to set the temperature to hot. We want to set that dye in, and then we're going to probably not do an extra rinse. I don't know. We'll do an extra rinse just to be sure. And then we'll set it to a super wash. So we'll let this run, and then we'll throw them all in the dryer. Okay, so the wash cycle is done, and I've put all of the flats into my dryer. I'm going to set the timer for about 50 minutes. That should be enough time to dry flats since they're really thin. And then I'm going to set it to super high heat in order to really set that dye in. So let's get this started, and we'll take them out and see how they look. So here we are, all the diaper flats are now dry and complete, and they're looking beautiful. So here's our spiral diaper flat, our bullseye diaper flat, our sunburst diaper flat, or as my daughter likes to call the lily pad diaper flat, our folded diaper flat, and then a couple other miscellaneous ones that I just made, crinkling them up in different ways. You just really can't go wrong with tie-dye, and it's just a lot of fun, and I encourage you to try it out at least once. So thanks for joining me for this edition of Adventures in Fluff, and I hope you join me again soon.